press the record button here because someone's decided to fucking call me whilst I'm recording my podcast, right? And here he is. Say hello, Diego. You are on our episode 3 right now. And I had to panic and try and turn the fucking phone off because you decided to call halfway through the chat. Yeah? What do you have to say for yourself?
I didn't know you would last in, did I?
Really? You don't talk to me forever just because he's got a job now, and then you decide to call me at the most awkward times.
Yeah, well, you're most of the time at home anyway.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode on Friday night with Alpha1Mike. Yeah, I guess that works. It's the third time, I guess it should do now. Guys, quickly, please like, subscribe. Check out the new website at A1MTactical.com. And we're back again. Another guest. And he's an interesting fella. And I think that's an understatement. But absolutely amazing guy. Played a few games with him already. And we've had some fun moments. So, yeah. Let's get to it. So my special guest today is Jake Tucker from BADNADE. Hey Jake, how's it going?
Hey, yeah, great. Happy to be here, I guess. Yeah, that sounds right. Happy to be here.
Kind of, it's just...
Well, I'm in my room, but, like, the idea of being on this is nice.
It's different, right? It's different. And again, that's why I started this up, so we can all at least look like we're sane and not locked inside of our houses doing just loads of crazy shit. But tell us a bit more about yourself, dude.
Yeah, so I'm Jake, as you probably just got. You started at the beginning, didn't you? I've been airsofting for 14, 15 years, which is kind of rare, I guess, these days. And I also run BADNADE.com, which is basically just a big dump of information for people that want to get into airsoft. Because I think that airsoft is a sport, like, obviously, you know what you know, and your mates will tell you what they know. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know some really simple stuff and you're just getting started out, it's really difficult to find out good information that is just a lot of, like, rumours, kind of anecdotes.
True. But then it kind of overlays to what you do in your real life, right? No, in airsofting. As for those who don't know, Jake, do you want to kind of elaborate on that and why it got you into doing these reviews and stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I have a lot of kind of agreement stuff signed up.
Yeah,
so
we don't want to break any NDAs, all right?
yeah, like what I do basically is I work for a lot of big, like, multinational companies, and I teach them to do their content and how to make stuff for the internet that isn't shit. And so I kind of looked at that, and I've been doing that for years, and was like, I could probably do that for me also. And so far, I don't think the stuff on BADNADE is shit, but, like,
well,
you be the judge. You just go check it out.
The only thing I'm happy about is that you're on my channel, so that must mean you don't think I'm shit. To a certain extent.
No, man.
I hope not.
No, I'll go on record as saying Alpha1Mike is the best.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Oh, right, I'm gonna take this jumper off. Oh, shucks. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go check out badnade.com. Is that right? Is it badnade.com?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. You can put a link in the description. It's just below.
I can do that. I need to stop being lazy. I need to get off my ass and do that stuff. So I will put a link in the... there is a Facebook channel as well?
Yeah, I haven't done anything with Facebook yet. I think you're the only person that likes it, but I will. Most of the stuff that I do, to be honest, is I'm at BADNADEJAKE on Instagram, and it's really nice just to chat to airsofters from around the country. The one thing that I'm really keen on is I try and play as many places as possible. Mm-hmm. And so knowing people around the country gives me people to kind of mob up with when I show up at a local site, you know?
Yeah. I mean, just the way you mentioned that and how you like talking to players, that's kind of like how we met, right? Because we met on Instagram before we even met in person. And that was really cool. It ended up being like a patch swap situation. But I believe you weren't able to turn up to the game, which sucked. And then I bumped into you, I think, the week after, which was at Airsoft Plantation with the Midgard group, right?
Yeah. Then, I ran into you a week later. You gave me a patch. I still wear the patch over my groin on the scrote pouch, which is a solid,
It feels warm.
It's a position of honour. But yeah, I try to... I think the thing is, ultimately, that I play more than most people I know. I play every week. but I still need something to do during the
Mhm.
week. So Instagram's really good for that. Like when I started out, Instagram for airsoft just wasn't a thing.
Right.
And the Facebook group, let's be honest here, are just really toxic pieces of trash. Um, so like Instagram's actually a really nice positive space. It's weird, like airsoft Facebook is really really unpleasant, and it's a load of 40-year-old blokes just kind of talking shit about people. And then airsoft Instagram is really supportive and really nice, and it's a visual hobby, so it's a way better
I
fit.
completely agree, man. Like, I've told everybody, and people still don't believe me. I've only started my Instagram channel in January this year.
Yeah, it's obscene, man. I've got like
It's-
200 followers, and you've got like 1,700,000.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe one day. That's when the giveaways start happening. But I think I'm on like 8,200 or something. But look, guys, again, I think you guys are all awesome. I say this in every video that I do, even before I start doing a podcast. I think the airsoft community on Instagram is absolutely amazing. I mean, the support there is awesome, right? So
Yeah, it's really supportive. The thing is, if you get a new gun, right, I do want to see it. Like, and that's cool. It's like, hey, look what I got. It's like, here's an MP7. I'm like,
speaking
cool,
of
I
new
like that.
gun, I see what you did there. Go on. I know you want to show it. Show us what you've got, what you're working on.
Alright, so I'll show you this one first because it's less exciting. I mean, all riffs are exciting, I gotta say. So this is my Cyma Blue. I was in the middle of, I'm about to put a Promi purple hot rubber and nub into it. But this is supposed to be like a cheap throwaway for like CQB or when it's really raining. And I really like it actually. Like, I don't know, I mean, at some point you'll have a fiddle with this, but
I'll be molesting that thing.
like, it's really nice and sturdy. You know, The Rock, the Michael Bay movie. Like, I got it for that because all the Navy SEALs are kind of carrying these around, and it's nice.
Are you kind of hinting that you're going to be running around in a wetsuit at some point?
I mean, maybe this weekend there's.
We could squeak around the forest.
But then there's this I've had for a while, but it's
nice.
It's just gone to Camerades and had a lot of work.
Did
done.
you take that one to what was it called? Was it Spartan or Sentinel Airsoft? Was that the one that you took with us?
Nah, you've never seen this because it spent the last 2 months being sat at his workshop, basically being fixed and spec'd out.
Nice.
It's really really lovely. It's a TM416, but to be honest, that's a Crossfire, which is really like a Vortex Crossfire. It's like a genuine deal. It's really really nice. It goes between 1 and 4 times. But to be honest, anything above 2 times is a little bit silly for our stuff. But it's like it's really ridiculously nice, and the only thing TM about it at this point really is the externals. Like, it's been basically completely gutted, but the externals are so lovely. Like, something I really dig. You can see this fine, yeah?
Yeah, I can see that.
Right, so if I get it right up close here, you can see the HK engraving on the which is, it's just, I love detail.
That is very cool. It's a sexy looking gun though.
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking it out Sunday for the first time.
Or you need a nice little peck box on there, you know, give it a look.
Yeah, like it needs something, and I'm just kind of trying to work out. Like, it's almost there. Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of night games these days.
Okay, so have you got a tracer unit for it, maybe?
I was thinking about it, but it does kind of make it a bit longer. So I actually bought a suppressor for it, but then I kind of looked at it and was like, no, it makes the gun wrong. I like
just found a monolithic suppressor.
Well, like, look, if I'm kind of like, so like this here, this is a really good length. Yeah. Whereas if I add anything to it, it just becomes a little bit unwieldy.
It's the idea of, you know, if you're doing CQB, don't. If you're doing outdoor, maybe. Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, leaning into the cupboard of dreams here. If I'm doing outside stuff, I use one of these.
Oh yeah, I've seen that up close. That's a lovely gun, that is.
Yeah, well, that's where I've pilfered the scope from for the time being. It seems silly to buy 2 of the same scope.
How many guns do you have?
11.
11.
Yeah. Oh. Although one of them's a sidearm.
Just one's a sidearm. Everything. Jesus. What sidearm is it? Is it a Glock?
Nah, I got a.
I love it how he's just. It's you know, it's all just in this vicinity. Yeah. You're just reaching down and grabbing them.
I've got a closet here with all of my stuff in it. It's just an MK23 with realistic mud camo.
Mud camo. Somebody's dropped.
What happened is I meant to clean this up. I meant to clean this up a month ago when I got in and we went into lockdown, and I just didn't do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I've played with Glocks all the time, and then I got my MK23, and it's the only sidearm that I've had that's got dirty. I don't know why, but it just got so muddy.
I could tell you the real reason why, as something I've worked out, is that if I'm wearing a Glock, I've got it in the vest here. Like, whereas if I'm wearing my SOCOM, I've got it on a skeleton holster on my thigh, and I'm more likely to get mud on my thighs than I am.
You like getting down and dirty, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen me play. I would describe myself as aggressively breakdancing towards the enemies at all times.
Yeah. Especially when you're getting shot in the head.
Oh my god. That day, I would like to defend myself here and say that basically we had a day at Outpost Central Airsoft, and I basically just spent the entire day getting rinsed close range in the face.
The fact that you had to reboot as well.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that like I think that headshots are fine in Airsoft, and I think that if you don't like it, you should wear face protection, and I don't wear face protection. That's a choice. So sometimes you get shot in the face. And it sucks, but like,
excessive.
Like the guy at 3 feet who just dumped 60 rounds into my face was a bit like, oh.
I think there was steam coming out of your ears to the point where you just like, fuck this, I'm gonna need a break, and then he came back out and everything's back to normal.
Yeah, like it was. Do you know what? I think people also get way too fucking aggy when they airsoft, and that's actually the answer a lot of the time is I'm gonna go have a can of Coke in the safe zone. And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to shoot the fuck out of that guy, but in a polite and respectful way.
At least that beats me and my 7 cans of Red Bull from the morning all the way there. Do you know what I mean? Just like, I didn't even know what I was doing at one point. But I have to say, that was an awesome sight. Speaking of sights, and I've asked this the other guys as well, it's like, what are your, what's your stomping grounds, right? What are your favourite sites that you go to the most, to your least? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so I'm all over. I love Sentinel. I think it's great for just, if there's a lot of different parts to Airsoft, and sometimes you just want to shoot people. You don't really want to put any thought into like movement or like dicking around with comms or anything like that. I think Outpost is really good for just kind of a meat grinder. The firefights are really good. It's a very small, it's basically an RAF listening post, and then they've got kind of the grounds around it. And I'm not as keen. Yeah, I'm not as keen on the inside. Not for any reasons, but I just think the outside is really, really well done. Over the last 10 years, they've built it up really nicely, and like they've put a lot of thought into cover, and it's just a really nice like place to fight in. And you're never more than about 10 steps away from a firefight. The games are really, really quick in turnaround, and the lunch is good. They just order a load of pizzas.
That is true. Place. I forgot about that. That's the first site that's actually given lunch, which was shitloads of pizza. That was awesome.
Yeah. I also really dig, I think what's growing on me, and I haven't gone there enough yet, I've only been 3 times, but I think I'm really, really into Imperium Airsoft.
Where's is Imperium the one with the tanks that you guys went to?
Yeah, it's in Faversham. And sick. Basically, yes, they let you ride tanks, which is cool. They let you ride in the back of pickup trucks.
I'm so sad I didn't go the last time now.
Yeah, so we were going to go again, but they're actually closed for the new year now because they say that with COVID they're just going to be extra safe and see how things develop. So I'm hoping they come back in the new year. To be honest, they've just had a really intense year. A lot of sites have, right? They were closed for months. They've kind of been open, closed. They've been trying to get the hang of distancing. Imperium were only 2 years old as well. So this for them has been like a really challenging second year, and I think maybe they're just taking a month off just to, like, chill.
Well, they're giving themselves a break away, to be fair.
Yeah, and I think that's really to be deserved. They team up with another site that I've not played at that want to in Victor Airsoft, and they basically take opposite. So one of those 2 sites plays every 2 weeks, I think, and they alternate whose turn it is.
Right.
Which is quite nice. It's so that they don't cannibalize each other's stuff, which I just think is a really smart way of doing it. But and then my third site, which is kind of a favourite, is I really, really like Airsoft Plantation.
Airsoft Plantation. Actually, that's a lie. But I do like to classify them as my proper outdoor experience for the first time, right? Because the first site that I went to that was outdoors was Tactical Warfare in Croydon.
Yeah.
But then from what I've
It's
experienced,
quite
I don't.
paintbally, isn't it?
It's just it's a place to dust off the cobwebs or warm up. Do you know what I mean? I don't see it as a proper outdoor site where it is an absolute blast to play at. I just think it's just a good place to just go and have a crack and play because no one really follows the rules. There's always an issue there, or something's happened. Somebody's lost a boot. Something, it even caught fire at one point. I think somebody set it alight. It was like it's just. Yeah, it's one of those places that isn't run great, but it's a good place to go and just get dirty and play a bit of airsoft. But airsoft plantation,
This is TWA, just to be clear. Like we're not
TWA.
we're not slinging anything at AP here.
But AP is John, who owns the place. They've done an awesome job. I mean, my first experience there was 300 plus people. I think it was on the Christmas game that they did like a year ago, and it was just awesome. Absolutely awesome, man.
Yeah, you get a super good crowd of people. Essex is actually really good for airsoft, just in general. I think
it's the only thing that they're good for.
Yeah, like Essex in general, not a big fan of. But I nearly moved to Essex early this year, and it was literally just I was like, if I moved to Billericay, how cheap would it be for me to get to airsoft?
Just live on site. That's it.
It's a 3-minute cab, and if you think I was getting a cab and not just trying to get someone from Big Gun to pick me up on the way in,
I'm not joking. I'd be quite happy. I'd be happy to move out of London, but then it's the concept of travel and everything else. So
it's a complicated time, right? I mean, not to get too much into the real life stuff away from the shooting guns. But yeah, like with COVID going on and the fact that I'm a contractor and I kind of work, like London used to be beneficial to me. But if I'm honest now, like it would be quite nice to just live somewhere near to an airsoft site out of the way and just kind of chill a bit. And whether that happens or not, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I can see the appeal,
Completely agree. No, absolutely. And to be fair, obviously bringing real world stuff. I mean, the way that the future of work is going, it looks like everybody's going to be working from home. So it doesn't matter where the fuck you live. If you can get to your laptop and do your 9 to 5, then you're sorted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a world where I have to go back into the office for my job more than once or twice.
There you go, mate.
Like,
you can put on a few pounds, watch Mandalorian and enjoy life.
Oh, don't, man. That's the. I'm quite happy about filling out and getting old, except for airsoft. It's like now I'm like, I'm kind of like, I would say I'm about 4 kilograms heavier than when lockdown started, and I feel all 4 kilograms as soon as I sprint. It's like, oh, you got to get this flag, and I'm like, oh god. Oh no!
Dude, I've only met you like this, right? I did. If you ever watched my more recent airsoft videos, where I was like 115 kilos, and every video was just, it's just bad. To be fair, my whole life has been like an accordion, mate. I just go in and out in width. It's just ridiculous. But
I like cake a lot.
Hey, let's make that the statement of the evening. I like cake.
I like cake. I like a pint. And those are bad for you.
Nice.
And I don't do enough exercise outside of that to counteract the.
That's why you play every weekend. Now I get it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like fight off age.
You need to start getting those real weight plates, the real weighted plates in your vest. Just start adding that extra gain on.
So I've actually been thinking about ditching my vest to run a belt kit because it's just lighter. But that's laziness. I won't do it.
If you do, I'm full autoing you. Everybody, it's that day. Get your mag down.
Yeah, but Mike, you're on my team.
Sorry, I had my eyes shut. The recoil scared me. Whatever is, well, literally no recoil. But anyway,
yeah, the recoil scared me. You're firing an MK23.
Oh man.
I think something I really like about Airsoft Plantation, to be fair, like briefly going back to it, is basically that they've been airsoft in a long time. The marshals are very good, and everyone cares about you having a good day, and that really shows. Yeah. Like I've played at a couple of other sites that I will not name because I try not to kind of shit on places like it's people's livelihoods, right? But I have played at places where people clearly, very clearly, don't give a fuck about whether you're having fun or not once you've paid. And
I think we've already mentioned that. I'm quite happy to say it. Very happy to say it. But go on.
AP does not have that problem. Everyone
AP
really
doesn't.
cares. Everyone's really into it. They want to get a couple of photos of you looking really good. Like it's nice. And I think I would consider that my home site now, even though it is really in my home
Right.
site. You know, like it's kind of an hour and a half's drive, but it's worth it to go there, and they seem happy to have you there.
Absolutely.
Like, and that for me means everything. I'm kind of at the point now where I want to play as many places as possible, but if I have a shit day, I probably won't come back. Like, I'm like, and so much of that comes down to attitude from the marshals now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely great. I hate to blow smoke up their butts, but it's true. I mean, I think there there are other sites that are the same, but I can 100% say that they enjoy doing their job. It's not like you go somewhere and they're just like, oh, I have to do this again. Do you know what I mean? It's like they actually do enjoy it, and it makes everybody else really enjoy the day, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Airsoft's got this real problem where, and some people might not see it as a problem, but basically you get this thing where like the marshals have got this kind of standoffish, because that's just their thing.
Yeah.
You know, so you go there and they kind of just take the piss out of you, and like, so I went to one, and I went to a site and I was chatting to a friend of mine about what had happened to the 416. Basically, it got damaged because some rain hit it and it shorted out one of the electronics in it. Not a big fix, but you know, kind of a pain.
Mhm.
And he was, oh, how come you're not bringing the 416 out? And I was like, oh, well, it got rained on, so I'm hoping that. And one of the marshal who was there, who was like running the site, was like, no one cares about your broken gun stories. Just like over me, and I was like,
What?
all right, mate.
Okay.
Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's just kind of like, cool. I'm not gonna feel welcome here. And it wasn't like he was trying to brief. We were stood there in a group waiting for brief to kick off.
Mhm.
Like, because some people were back at the cars getting stuff.
Right.
So we
So it
stood
wasn't
there
like
just
you're
chilling out.
interrupting anything. You just decided to put some input in that was negative.
Yeah, dead time. And it's just like, if that's what you want to be, fine. But I really think, and one of the things I really like about kind of playing with you and hanging out with you in an airsoft context is that you're very positive as well. And I just kind of feel
Am I?
like, in spite of yourself, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can be a bit cuntish, but I'm good.
But that's the thing is, you got to be positive in airsoft when you talk about airsoft, because when you get out on the field, right, and like everyone's getting a bit aggy, and you've been shot a few too many times, you're a bit wet, you're a bit pissed off, and you think your gun might not be firing right, like that can all make you a bit moody. So it's kind of important to
Yeah, I mean,
just
everybody can be in that position, right? So I think it's
yeah.
it's the thing. Like, how can I explain it, dude? It's easier to tell someone to calm down when you're not pissed off, but when you're that person that's angry, it's always good to have that one person in the group that's able to know what you're like and calm you down. Do you know, in that sense? And we've all been there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've had my rage fits, but when I'm with you guys, or you haven't seen it as much, but like the guys that I usually play with, they know if I've finally cracked and I've got that, that moment where I'm stressed out, they know to just let me rant and then I'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? It's not that I mean anything by it. Just let me like get it out and then I'm fine.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't have you as, and actually, a lot of the guys that you play with regularly, like, I mean, you play with us, but I know you play with like another group of pals, and like they played with us when we played the favela thing in Splatoon, and like they were really good. I mean, I blew up one of your guys' noses with a SOCOM. He took it like he was really chill about it.
Oh yeah, you shot my Brazilian friend in the nose. He even bleeding from. Oh yeah,
it was so bad. It was so like so. Basically, what happened?
I remember that.
I'm in the containers at Splatoon, and like I'm hiding there, and I hear them coming through, and they're clearing it, and I'm like, fuck. So I can have a shootout. So Splatoon is single shot, and I actually think that's really good. I think single shot everywhere is decent.
I only do single shot. I've never full autoed unless I'm told to.
Yeah, I don't full auto. It's fine to suppress sometimes, but I run.
But do you know what my issue was? When I first started playing, I only ever had 3 mags. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, I won't use 3 mags.
I've got to always like reload halfway through the game, especially if it's one of those where it just keeps on going even though it ends. Like they just go straight into another game. So I now have 8 mags, which is absolutely awesome. But yeah, I remember that. I think that was one reason. Well, actually, a good thing, and it taught me to not full auto and how to take my shots seriously and not waste. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, like I really yeah, I really enjoy. I was just kind of thinking out for a second.
Yeah, I can see you just zoned out.
Yeah, I'm properly just like, what I really like about firing like that, and I used to have a fairly decent scope on and a fairly like. So these days, I move towards guns that are decent at range and guns that are a bit more have a bit more oomph to them,
Mhm.
and a decent scope. And I feel that I just pick my shots a lot more carefully because actually, and I think there's totally a place if you want to run around corners and spray with a
Right.
submachine gun. Like that's also fun, but I just get a lot more enjoyment out of slowly pushing forwards.
Listen, I think a good comment to put here is it's great to go nuts and fall auto when you're playing against friends, right? But when you're playing with people you don't know on a site, at least take it semi-seriously.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just kind of assume that everyone is gonna try and be decent, do the best that they can, and that's not always the case. But I like to assume that everyone that is airsofting is, especially one good thing that's come out of the whole COVID shit, is that when the games reopened again, like end of June, start of July, everyone that plays now does take it seriously because they're people who wanted to play
True.
and could play, and now things are open, they're playing again. Like you don't really get the rental stag do showing up because it's not really that safe anymore because you have that and it is a fucking mess
Well,
sometimes.
we had that at Sentinel. It wasn't really a stag do, but we had a carrot,
No,
we had a shake,
yeah.
we had a guy dressed as a bride, Super Mario, what else? Deadpool,
Deadpool,
a baby.
There's a cracking photo of me letting a guy in a Deadpool muscle suit and a dime mask clear the path for me because I was like, I'm not standing in front of that. He's gonna
He's got
draw
all the padding.
every round on the field.
Oh.
But I had a really cracking firefight with a baby, which sounds silly.
It's not every day you get to say that,
like,
is it?
He had a beard, so I guess he was of age. You know,
he was a mature baby. He was a mature baby.
yeah. Actually, maybe he was just wearing a nappy. I mean, like, I'll let him.
Dude, I remember there was once I think he nearly buckled over his own nappy because it kept on sliding down his legs. It was so funny. But yeah, man, that was awesome. That was an awesome day.
I felt really bad because that day they played the turtle game. Basically, the way the turtle game works is that you tie a paper plate to your back loosely.
Oh yeah. Oh crap. Yeah.
Very, very rare that this sort. I'd like to just point out that games like this are very, 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 very rarely played. And the three guys there were there for like a special event, and so
was it initiation, wasn't it, to a team?
Yes, yeah, they wanted to take what I can only describe as dumb pain.
Dude, so
but there was a guy that was running away from me because he was scared of getting hit. So he ran away from me, and I just walked out after him in firing stance like this, just shooting him repeatedly in the paper plate, whereas he just yelled in pain. And I was like, you could just...
Because bearing in mind, guys, even if they got hit, they weren't out. They just...
Yeah, they had to break the plate.
They had to keep on going, and they had these plates, and it would only die if their plate had broken. But the problem is it was on their back, so they never knew when it was broken, so people just kept on fucking firing at them. Full over to a point where they were all corralled in the corner of this little like alleyway next to the building. People just
they all went home after that, and I guess it's because they were like, no, too much.
One of them took their shirt off at the end of the safe zone, and I swear to God, he looked like he got raped by bees. Right? It's so bad.
You know.
That was bad. I wish I'm never in that position, dude. Imagine somebody goes, "Oh, is this happening?" Luckily, I bought my LMG today. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like I was unpleasant. To be fair, I was walking after him at a single shot, just like tapping him in the back like 5 times a second.
But it's funny how people enjoyed that game more than the others.
Yeah, like
sadistic bastards.
I mean, that's airsoft all over, isn't it? What is, we've talked about what I like to play, and we've talked about what I bought. Talked about what I bought and have been working on during lockdown. How about you? What's next on the airsoft gear slate?
Why do you have to put me on the spot that way? It's usually the other way around. Do you know what? I actually haven't done anything. I sold a couple of guns.
Nice.
I sold my Evo. My Evo to the Brazilian guy that you shot in the nose. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Which he's fallen in love with.
I love my Evo. I got one in there somewhere.
Do you know what's really weird? I bought it, never used it, and then
just wasn't for you.
He came over, and we started putting attachments on it, see what it looked, and I was like, I really don't want to sell this now, but I was like, I'll give it to you. It was his first ever gun, and you know what? I'm glad he got it from me and not from someone he doesn't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And then I've got a Cellian Arms Grye here that I'm trying to get rid of as well. But I think one of the lads from Midgard is interested in it, so we'll see. But look, regarding airsoft, I kind of not being able to do anything, especially where I live and the amount of space I've got. I can't really do much. So I think this year I might play a game at TWA just to, dust off the cobwebs on the 19th, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I know everybody's gone nuts and already booked their tickets for all the Christmas games and stuff. But this is the first Christmas I've bought presents for people because I don't really celebrate Christmas because I've got my girlfriend, of course, her daughter and everything else. I've just bought a 6-foot teddy for her daughter, which I now have. I've just didn't think about because now I've got to carry it all the way to the house somehow. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, man, it's been pretty chill. I've been doing the online gaming. I've been streaming on YouTube, showing off my absolutely horrendous gaming skills. And that's, I think, why people tune in and watch it, because it's just hilarious. I even got a hoodie made saying there's no place like Gulag because I'm always fucking in it. It's just like that. And again, I'll plug it in. Check out the A1MTactical.com website, which I've been designing all the hoodies and jumpers and I've done loads of cool designs on it, but I'm also putting like the quotes and slogans from the gameplay. So if you watch it enough and you find, when I always say it's a warm up for 24 hours, then yeah, there's a jumper that says that.
I want to. So the thing is, Well, I uninstalled Warzone, so I installed the new Call of Duty on the PS5 and the PC.
Lucky bastard.
But when Warzone comes across to that, I'll have to join you for a couple of games.
Dude, it's. I get a lot more kills on Cold War than I do on Modern Warfare.
Yeah, Cold War's way. I don't say easier because that's not fair. What it is Modern Warfare's a lot slower paced. Whereas Cold War feels like the older Call of Duties, and so I can kind of plow around the place.
Yeah,
just clean up the shotgun.
But funny enough, you say that because I feel like Cold War is slower than Modern Warfare for some reason, and I think that's why I got more control. Because I swear, if I don't play for about a week, my sensitivity feels like it's on like super drive, and I grab it a week later, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, I need to change this.
No, I'm charging around with the shotgun. You get like the growl or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Just charging around the place with that, just executing people.
Dude, it's a good game. And speaking of gaming, have you ever heard of Englefield? She's an online gamer, dude. She has awesome content, and she's just got into airsoft. I think she's only played 2 games, and she's like not far from TWA. But if you check out her YouTube channel, awesome player, man. Seriously, she's got some awesome skills on there. She messaged me saying, actually, that reminds me, I should tell her that I might be going on the 19th. But there's so many people getting into airsoft these days, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess the real reason that I'm trying to be like I think that's the real reason that I'm trying to be more friendly, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is because I want to I want people to feel like airsoft is for them and it's a thing they can try out. And I know that typically when I got into airsoft kind of 14, 15 years ago, people just took the piss because I hadn't been doing it for longer. But I was like 18, 19.
Dude,
like,
what are you talking about? I only started like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Well, so I try to be friendlier and kind of like welcome in as much as possible.
Absolutely. And I think you've done a great job doing that, mate, because especially you and people like you who've been playing the sport for so long, you could be the complete opposite going, I know everything, you just annoy me, stay away from me kind of person. But you don't. You actually welcome everybody. You, for example, you didn't have to, but you reached out to me and invited me to a site after we've only met once in person, and that was amazing. And I appreciate you doing that. And, if there was more people that could do that for others, that means that usually means a lot to most people.
I mean, we all want to do the same thing, right? Which is sling plastic.
Sling plastic. Yeah.
That's what it is.
You could say that, yeah. Bend it like John Wick.
I've been playing a lot of VR shooters inside during lockdown, and I can happily tell you that I am not John Wick. And in fact, panic about reloading pistols.
Well,
and
I know that you're a lot more of a gamer than I am, and you've probably got like Oculus or something, but the only VR I've played is the new Star Wars Squadrons game.
So I've got that I've been playing that I enjoy.
Dude, I got so much smoking sickness. Oh,
that too.
Oh, I need coffee. Yeah, dude, I got so sick and clammy and sweaty in the first 10 minutes. Every time I've played it, I've got better. and I've got used to it. But at the beginning, I was just like, "Holy shit! Like, what the fuck?" But yeah, it was good, man. I do enjoy that game.
Yeah, like I really enjoy that. I play this thing called Hot Dog, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, and basically what it is,
That's a good name.
it's a super realistic firearm simulator in VR, except that instead of shooting regular people, you're shooting like living hot dogs. Because the guy that made it,
Sick.
the guy that made it is super into guns
Right.
and super into making them all
But
work.
you want to
right,
make
but
it
he's not-
fun,
but he's not really into like the violence in VR.
right?
So you shoot the hot dogs, which don't really count. But it's like I had like you could have a round, so you spawn and you just randomly defend areas and attack areas
Right.
as the game tells you to do, and it gives you random weapons. So I could spawn and have like a desert eagle with a desert eagle with a peck box on the top, because fuck it, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I just slapped it on the top, turned the laser on, and was just like, it's fine. But you could also get like all the weird stuff, you know, like weird assault rifles from like
He's just basically got
Eastern
everything
Europe.
on there.
Everything, and it's really good practice. But all I've really learned is that I'm shit.
Yeah. Dude, there's actually before I jumped on this with you today.
Yeah.
I was looking at, was it Boneworks?
Yeah, Boneworks.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
My voice just broke.
Boneworks.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
But apparently that looks legit. Like they've really taken out, and they're called knuckle controllers or something.
Knuckles, yeah.
Yeah, where you can actually let go, but you don't let go of anything. It's quite amazing what they've done with VR lately. To be fair, he's back. It died on me, people. I forgot to put the charging cable into my laptop. Yeah,
Airsofters, we get the job done.
it's funny how I work for technology companies. I get to put a freaking charger into my laptop. I would say this though, I'm surprised it's still recording.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still recording, so we're good.
So we're good. A lot of extra editing in this episode.
Yeah, we'll do the clap thing that I told you about earlier. We'll do that again.
1, 2, 3. There we go.
There you go. Now you can just literally that's the start again, and you're good.
Unbelievable. I know, right? You haven't even drunk anything yet. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's like, fuck. But yeah, let's go back. So we were talking about Medal of Honor.
Yeah. So there's a VR game coming out, Medal of Honor, which is by the guys who made Titanfall 2. It's going to be really good. So I've just kind of got really into VR during lockdown because I can't be airsofting all the time, and so it helps.
True.
I've like for me, airsoft is kind of the real deal. Everything else is a secondary thing, but
Yeah.
I still enjoy having an option to do something.
It's cool, man. And I mean, those who haven't experienced VR, if you get the opportunity, try it 100%. I think for most people, it is an escape. That's the cool thing about it. It really is cool. Especially for people like me that live in a studio flat and it's just 4 walls for the rest of your life. It's like being in the
Oh
sun.
yeah, like now that you can't go outside, it's nice to be able to
Well,
do outside.
Lockdown is over, right? Lockdown is
we're-
over.
We are
Give
tier
it a week
2.
before they put it back into lockdown again. But it's over. But looking at the time, we've definitely gone over 30 minutes, but obviously we've had technical issues. But I want to ask you what I'll ask everybody, and that is, what's your advice? Yeah, what do you, for new starters or people that are playing for a long time, what would be your statement or your quote to finish us off? What's your advice for people?
I mean, the obvious one is don't skimp on eye protection and footwear, because going blind sucks and breaking your ankle also sucks. But the real thing that I'd go for, I think, is just remembering that it's a really small community and that you get out of airsoft what you put in. So just try and be positive all the time and decent. And, congratulate people when they get a good shot on you. Just be decent. And I think you'll find airsoft to be an incredible sport with a lot of really good people. Yeah. The simplest thing. You know what? A third thing. Call your hits and don't yell at people when they don't call theirs. That's it. Just go tell a marshal.
But it's
fine.
half of the fun.
It's not half of the fun. Stop yelling at people.
Oh man, do you know? I did that to Dennis. I think I did it to Dennis or someone else. Where I knew who it was, so I just started swearing and bullying him. Even though he did call his hit, I was just like swearing it because it was just funny. And he was like, "Just leave me alone. I didn't do anything."
not Dennis. Leave him alone.
Dude, that was so funny. Again, Dennis, another guy, awesome lad, man. Absolutely awesome guy. But speaking of Dennis, and this is quick, I met him at Bunker 51 when I first started ever playing Airsoft. So, yeah, I think I've known him the longest out of everybody, even though I've only actually played with him for the first time recently. So that's pretty cool.
Full community, right? This is exactly what I'm saying. Full
Very
community.
Cool. Very cool. But look, guys, we've gone over 30 minutes. I might actually start making these videos an hour. What do you think, Jake? Do you think that's worth doing an hour?
This way we just keep talking now, or
well, I've got I think my cousin needs to do other things, and he's just here reading the book and doing things in front of me because he can't hear what's going on between you and myself because he's not
involved.
He's not got a pair of headphones, so he's probably just looking at me going, "Why is he talking to himself?"
I mean, like we wrap this one up, and then what you do is you see how you like the product, once it's built, and then maybe you go to an hour from there. But we're done. We're at the wrap-up point.
I think we've done an awesome job. I think we've done pretty well. I mean, pat on the back to both of us. We're pretty good. I think it's getting better. I mean, especially from my first awkward episode where I was kind of like, how do I look at the camera? Do I look at my laptop? What do I do?
Mate, you're so good at talking for a really long time about nothing important. Podcasting should be easy for you.
I know, man. COVID's not helped. It's just made it better.
Yeah.
I've got a rock with a smiley face drawn on it. That's just talk to him every day. Do you know what I mean?
As long as someone's listening, right? Like,
fuck me, man. Oh my god. It's like, but yeah. Look, guys, check out badnade.com. Go and give a like on Facebook because apparently I'm the only one. Show that love. And definitely check out the Instagram channel, which I will put in, you'll probably see on the screen or in the comment section. I'll put the links for everything.
I've given
absolutely.
you a series of points.
Somewhere. I'll probably put it on top of Jake's image here. But yeah, thanks again, Jake, for joining. You're an absolute legend. And thanks for being the first person ever to show his face. Got the camera rolling and everything. Showing us his weaponry, which is very conveniently placed all over his floor next to him.
There's a cupboard. I promise there's a cupboard right here. Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, always a pleasure, man. And I'm trying to think of how I can get everybody on for Christmas. Probably 5 or 6 people on the chat. That'll be pretty cool.
You just make a Google Meet and you have everyone in like a tile, and then you just get people to fucking mute when they're not talking.
Oh, you've had those conference issues before, especially when somebody's like listening to music when they think they're on mute, and you're like, like seriously. All right, buddy. Well, look, guys, don't forget, check out a1mtactical.com. Go and have a look at these hoodies. We've got some awesome hats, beanies, hoodies, jumpers, whatever you can think of. Winter is coming. It's already here, actually. Let's be honest with ourselves. And I hope you all have an amazing time on the airsoft field, whoever has booked to go, especially you, Jake, because I know you're going out to dish out some punishment.
Wood, going out Sunday.
Well, there you go.
Although this will launch next week, so by the time it goes out, I will have already been to Driver Wood.
Well, guys, if you're at Driver Wood, again, this won't make any sense that I'm saying it, but if you're at Driver Wood, or if you ever bump into myself or into Jake or to anybody who's on this channel, make sure to go over and say hello and introduce yourselves. We're all friendly. We don't bite. I mean, I bite sometimes, but that's if I haven't had anything to eat in the morning and I'm a bit cranky. But
not in COVID, like it's just not safe anymore.
I start chewing on your jumper or something, out of stress. Just something weird. But look, we're good. Guys, enjoy, stay safe, and thanks for joining us this evening. See you later, guys.